Welcome back. Welcome back. So we have already seen that if you are supposed to calculate the selling price given the buying price and the profit, we look at the percentages. I want to insist that the percentage of the buying price is always 100%. Percentage of the buying price is always 100%. So there it goes, another example. A businesswoman bought 60 oranges in a sack of oranges at 400 shillings. The oranges were sold in groups of three oranges. Each group was sold at 25 shillings. The question is, calculate the percentage profit. So in this case, the oranges were bought in a sack. The sack was containing 60 oranges. The whole sack was bought at 400 shillings. So that is the buying price. That is the buying price. Then these oranges were arranged in small groups, each group having 3 oranges, and the 3 oranges in that one group were sold at 25 shillings. So how much money was gained as the profit, so that we calculate the percentage profit. Now before we calculate, we need to know how many groups. We need to know how many groups were sold. How many groups were sold? So if the oranges that were bought were 60, so the number of groups of the oranges will be taking the 60 divided by the number of oranges in one group. So 60 oranges as a total divided by the number of oranges in one group. In one group we had 3 oranges. So we divide by 3. So how many groups do we get? We get 20 groups. 20 groups. So each group was sold at 25 shillings. So the selling price will be 25 shillings. We multiply by 20, because 25 is the amount of money for one group. And how many groups did we have? We had 20 groups. So we multiply by 20. This is going to give us a total of 500 shillings. That is the selling price. Now we want to get the profit. The profit will be taking the selling price, we minus the buying price. Buying price is 400. So we are going to get the profit here. The profit will be taking 500, we subtract 400. That is going to be the profit. If you want to get the percentage profit, then we are going to divide that by the buying price, which is again 400. So 500 minus 400 divide by 400. Then we multiply this by 100. So that is going to give us the percentage profit. The percentage profit. So dividing that, we get it as a quarter. So the percentage profit will be equal to a quarter, because 500 minus 400 gives us 100. Divided by 400 gives us a quarter, multiplied by 100. That is going to give us 25%. So in other words, the percentage profit is going to be 25%. Let us look at another example. In this example, we want to look at the loss. The loss. Because we have said the loss and profit go together. You either get a loss or you get a profit. A loss will be obtained when the selling price or the cost, the price at which you sell is less than the cost price, the price at which you bought the item. So our example here says Johnny bought a dress at 3,500 and later sold it at 2,800. What percentage loss did he get? We can see this is a loss because the selling price is less than the buying price. So this is a loss. This is a loss. So how do we calculate it? We go ahead and say, actually the buying price can be also called the cost price. So the buying price or the cost price is the same as 3,500. The selling price is the same as 2,800. So we get a loss. We get a loss. How do we get the loss? The loss will be, we say you take the buying price or the cost price, the buying minus the selling. So the buying is 3,500 minus the selling, which is 2,800. There you get a loss. The loss is 700 shillings. So the 700 shillings is the loss. We want to get the percentage loss. The percentage loss will simply take this loss divided by the buying price or the cost price. Then you multiply by 100. The percentage loss will be equal to the loss divided by the buying price multiplied by 100. The loss is 700 shillings. Then divide by the buying, which is 3,500 multiplied by 100. So in other words, if we do that, then we are getting the loss, percentage loss to be 20%. That will be the percentage loss. The percentage loss is 20% in this case. Let us look at this other example and then we see whether it is giving us a loss or a profit. A boy bought 250 tomatoes at 4,000 shillings. Before he sold them, 10 of them went bad. He sold the remaining tomatoes in groups of 5 tomatoes. If each group was sold at 70 shillings, calculate the percentage loss that was obtained here. I don't know whether it is a loss or a profit, but let's see. The buying price we have seen is 4,000 shillings. How many tomatoes were bought? 250. But 10 of them were bad. So how many remained? It is 250 minus 10. That means we are getting the remaining tomatoes which were sold. But these tomatoes were sold in groups of 5. So how many groups? How many groups are we getting? How many groups? The groups will be the remaining tomatoes that were not bad. We divide by the number of tomatoes in one group, which is 5. So the tomatoes that remain are 240. Divide by 5. 5 is the number of tomatoes in one group. So how many groups do we get? We are getting 48 groups. So he sold 48 groups of oranges, each at 70 shillings. So in other words, the selling price is equal to the 48 groups multiplied by 70 shillings, the price for one group. That is giving us 3,360 shillings. So the selling price is less than the buying price, and this is a loss. This is a loss. So we can get a loss and a percentage loss. So how much is the loss in our case? The loss will be the buying price, which is 4,000, minus the selling price, which is 3,360. In other words, the loss will be given by 640 shillings. Now, what is the percentage loss? Percentage loss. Our percentage loss will be the same as the loss that we have. The loss is 640. We divide by the buying price, which is 4,000, and multiply by 100. So in this case, how much are we getting? We are getting a percentage loss of 16%. So we get a percentage loss of 16%. That means the tomatoes gave him a loss of about 16%. 16%. We will always give you such questions where you are going to calculate the percentage loss, the percentage profit. You are going to calculate the profit itself and also the loss. So in other words, when we give you such questions, we have to remember that the buying price is always 100%. Buying price is always 100%. Then the loss is a certain percentage there. If we want to get the selling price will have reduced in terms of the percentage. It will therefore be the 100 minus the percentage loss. If the percentage loss is 30%, for example, like this example here, we have a percentage loss of 16%. So it means this commodity has been sold at 84%. The selling price in terms of percentage is 84%, which means it is 100% the buying price minus the percentage loss, which is 16%. So we will get some more questions. We'll get them in the Google Classroom. So please log into the Google Classroom so that you get your questions. Thank you very much.